Hey guys, what's up? Wanted to give you a review on these awesome 2017 Sdcc TMNT Neca figures. I've seen a few posts of photos and a few reviews and whatnot, but wanted to touch on some things that I feel like people might like to see in addition. I'm not going to make this a very lengthy review or anything like that. You've all seen the photos and know kind of what they come with and that kind of stuff, so I'll try and get through that. But I really wanted to focus on the sculpt, paint, and articulation because I was a little worried when I saw some of the reviews or stills of these guys that they wouldn't really be able to get into any cool poses, but I think they can. So if you can see starting off, I tried to put them in one dynamic pose, one regular, kind of some vanilla stuff, but the foot ninja in front, you can see, can actually get into some pretty cool poses. So I don't think the articulation was shown off very much. So let's get into it. We'll start with the front one. I really dig the feel of these guys. I like the way they made them elongated. I like the way that they match up with the cartoon very well. The sculpt work is really good. You can see the paint and all the sculpt kind of well in there. The colors that they chose, everything. You know, you put some good lighting on this, and this dude will look pretty mean. So, as far as the paint and the sculpt goes, they got pretty good detail in all of the wrists, all the wrinkles in the costume, all the bands on the foot. Everything is pretty solid. I mean, I know some parts are pretty similar to the ones from last year. I didn't grab those ones, but these ones I felt like I needed to get. So, painting and sculpt, I love the colors that they did. I think the sculpt work is really nice, and I think they actually can get into some pretty cool poses. So each one of the foot ninjas comes with 2 open hands. Pretty good detail on these two. 2 kind of open fist or grabbing hands. So 2 of each of those. And 2 fist hands. So fully closed fist. So they each come with 2 of those. They come with the one gun you can see the other one holding, and this kind of classic plunger type gun, if you will. And they're all pretty cool. All the solid sculpt, solid paint on all of this stuff. So that's kind of what the foot comes with. The articulation is double at the knee. It has shin. It has not really much ankle rocker like Shredder. It has toe articulation. Something up here at the thigh. Some of them could be a little tight, so I recommend if they're too tight, you maybe could run them under some hot water. You have bicep swivel. You got a double elbow. Like I said, the arms are a little elongated, and I like that, but it can kind of get in the way a little bit, but not too much. The wrists are on a hinge like that, so you can get some decent motion out of that. The head is on a ball joint, so that moves pretty well. The motion that is pretty good. You know, so you can get a fair amount. You have waist articulation, no ab crunch, but you know, they made all of the material out of soft or rubber goods, so you can move these guys around pretty well. And I thought they got into some cool poses, and I haven't had them that long, so I haven't gotten to experiment with them that much, but from what I have, they're pretty cool. So if you were maybe a little worried about the articulation, if you could do anything with these guys, I think you can. So, moving on, we have Krang, and I was actually super excited to grab this guy because he's just so cool, and I picked up a few times a few of the other ones you could get in retail, but I wasn't in love with the way they look, the colors, a little too plasticky, a little too stuff like that, so I think they did a really good job on him. I like the fact that they gave him this little tripod too, so you got that with him. He actually came out of this thing to start with, so you actually remove him from that, and you can see he's got pretty good sculpt and paint work as well. Looks exactly like he did. You then remove the little tentacles and you pop those back into place. I mean, how much more articulation can you have with Krang? I feel like they did a pretty good job. You can rest him on his little pedestal there, or you can choose to display him in his little mech suit, which I like that better because I think they did a really good job. Let me scoot him over a little bit. Oh, poor Krang. You have the joint here. There's no in and out, but you move back and forth connected to the body. You can move back and forth connected at, I guess, what you would call the knee. These move left and right, not really up and down. They kind of, even if you kind of force them, they don't really stay even on the ground, which is not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, I wish maybe they put a little more effort into making that happen, but overall, I mean, it's a pretty cool set, so I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a hindrance at all. I think the detail work, once again, paint, sculpt, everything, it's really cool. Really matches up to the cartoon. So I was really, really excited to grab that. And then Shredder also comes with this little Krang communicator that actually has his face in it. So that was cool that they added that detail. All right. So moving on to, I guess Shredder. The reason I really wanted this set. So as you can see, you know, same quality of sculpt and paint as the rest of the figures. If you look closely, the eyes are painted really well, eyebrows, detail, and the mask, everything. I like that they chose a soft cape. Excuse me. I think that was much better than choosing a rubber cape. I like that they made all of his shoulder pads and gauntlets and claws and everything out of rubber as well, so you can't really break them. Sorry. Same thing. His tunic, everything is all soft goods, so it doesn't hinder any of the articulation. He pretty much has the same articulation as the foot soldiers, except he has a lot more ankle pivot. And I mean, well, I shouldn't say a lot. He actually has ankle pivot, so that helps. And I just think overall, he looks awesome. He's one of the coolest Shredder figures I think I've seen, especially in the right scale. I think they did a really good job on him, and he comes with some pretty cool stuff as well. He comes with his little pistol here, which I think they also did a really good job on. Sculpt and paintwork are really, really good on all the stuff that they gave you. He's got his little canister here. Paintwork, once again, that two-tone with a nice black inlay. Once again, all the lines really crisp, really clean, painted well. I do wish he had ab crunch. That would have been really cool. But he does not. But he can still, you know, you can still get him into some pretty decent poses. So I mean, I think if you mess around with him enough, you can still get him into the poses that you want. He also comes with this sword, which I thought was pretty cool. And once again, paint, sculpt, everything on these guys, pretty awesome. I mean, as far as their articulation and paint, you can see they're pretty quality. The articulation is there, so I'm not as worried as I was. I hope this helps you as far as these guys go, whether you decide to pay the price or not. Oh, also, Shredder comes with two kind of open palm kind of hands. They're pretty cool. And he also comes with two closed fists. And then he also comes with two open palm hands. So, I mean, for regular, not import figures, they did a really good job. And I know the set's a little pricey, but if you're a TMNT fan and you've been looking for figures like this, I mean, I think they literally nailed everything that you could want in this set of figures. So, why don't we move on to everyone's favorite heroes in a half shell? I'm dropping shit. I really like the turtles, the way they did them. I think the paint's really good. I got a few gripes with them, but nothing too major. We got our fearless leader, the comedian, my personal favorite, and the most well-rounded guy you know. So, I'm actually going to start off with their accessories so we can get through that. I have them holding them already so you can kind of see that they can get into some cool poses as a group. I really enjoy that. But they do come with some really cool stuff. So, we got our pizza here. I do wish that it came sliced apart and you could take it out. It's not the biggest gripe. They did a really good job matching everything. I think that's really cool. Kind of wish the box closed too. But, I mean, I get where you have to stop some of this stuff. But you can see that they did a really good job on the sculpt and the paint. And if you really wanted to, you could pluck it out and you could cut the slices apart. So, not the end of the world. I'm not going to, but maybe if I could pick up a secondary one, I might. This also comes for Mikey. Little nunchuck action. It's pretty cool. I haven't exactly figured out how to attach it to him yet, but I haven't got to spend that much time with them. Really wanted to show you guys the set, and so you can make a decision on your own if you were trying to pick this up before the price goes through the roof. They also come with 2 of each of these, an open comm and a closed comm, which I think is pretty cool because they were used pretty often. The detail and the sculpt on these are also great. So I think it's cool that they give you the option. I like when, even if they don't make it articulated, I like that they gave you the option to display however you would like. Now, each of the turtles also comes with one of these hands. Well, 2 of each of these hands. You got kind of your open hand, you know, high-fiving, maybe slapping foot ninjas. You know, the kind of pointing hand, you know, hey, asshole, hand, foot ninja, get out of my way. Then you get the thumbs up, you know, patented thumbs up, cowabunga dude. So, pretty cool that they gave them at least, I think all figures should come with at least 2-3 sets of hands, so I really like that they took the time to do that. It was pretty cool, too. They give you this grappling hook. So, I haven't even taken that out yet. But it's really cool that they decided to include all this stuff because they really didn't have to. They could have just given, you know, standard accessories and not really went the extra mile. So I think it's cool that they really included all of this stuff. Probably my favorite accessory is the single slice of pizza. It's painted well. It's sculpted well. Excuse me again. Sorry, just getting over a little bit of a cold. And it actually, you know, if you place it on, actually can go on to Raph's Sai. So I think that's really awesome. Now we'll move on to the turtles and finish up. All right. So we got Leo here. He comes with his 2 swords. I think the colors that they used on all these guys are perfect. I like you get the 2-tone in the knee pads. He's got his sheaths on his back. And I think they're the right scale. They're a little bit shorter. Well, a lot shorter than, say, a Foot Ninja. So I think that's an appropriate scale for these guys. You know, they're supposed to be shorter, so I think that's really cool. Same scale with Shredder. The articulation, they have shoulder, bicep, elbow, and I like that they tried to hide as much as they could with the knee pads and elbow pads. Can only move them left and right. There's really no rock back and forth. There's not much articulation on the bandana, but it's made of soft plastic, so you don't ruin it. I like that they did a good job on the belts. All the really all the paint is just so smooth, you know. You can see every little detail. Nothing is out of line or anything like that. It's all just really, really, really smooth. The weapons are the same way. You know, his swords are really smooth. They got a double knee, which might look funny without the knee pad, but the knee pad does a pretty good job of hiding that articulation. You have slight ankle pivot. Wish it could be a little more to get into some of those ninja poses, but at least it's there. You know, can go 360 around, and all the belts are made of soft goods. There's really no ab crunch. You can rock them back and forth, though, in the shell, so that's pretty cool. So that's the stuff that Leo comes with. Up next, we got Mikey. I like that they decided to use real chains for his nunchucks. He obviously has the same articulation, and same thing with the paint. It's that two-tone color. It's really cool. They did a really good job on all these guys. So, we got Raph. I'm just going to give you the kind of the 360 view of these guys so you can see, because they all have the same articulation. But they can get into pretty decent poses. I mean, they're not the best articulation, but they're pretty good. And then we got Donnie. He's got a really nicely sculpted staff. And same thing. Paint apps are all really good on this guy. I feel like my only gripe with maybe some of this paint is the eyes. Specifically on Raph, he kind of maybe looks like his left eye is looking a different way than his right eye. And that's not really so much the case with Leo. That's pretty spot on. But Donnie and Mikey also kind of have that too. I don't know if it was them trying to make the expression, but they are a little off. But overall, I really enjoyed the set. I'm glad I was able to get one at retail. I think they come with a lot of cool stuff. And if you're a Turtles fan, this is a great set to have. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. And hope you enjoy. Thanks, guys.